Hello.
Good afternoon, Lacey Dawson.
Hello, Mr. 411.
What's happening?
Not too much. I know we got a lot of fantasy football to talk about, but I've missed most of it this weekend. Sorry, I was out of the country.
Well, I mean,
So
there was
you'll
some
have
teams.
I'll be
There
catching
was
up when you catch up.
there was some teams that played outside the country this weekend as well. Your Giants triumph over the Packers.
Easily.
Yeah, if you take it back to the Coming to America when Eddie Murphy, remember when he was Prince Hakeem, and he was trying to buddy up with the prince's father, who was the manager at McDowell's,
Okay.
and he went up to him and said, you know, saw this game played with an oblong object made of pigskin, and he said the giant from New York triumphed over the Packer from Green Bay as they kicked
Wow.
they kicked the ball through a H or something like that. He said,
Uh-huh.
and he said it
So,
was quite exhilarating. And so then the guy told him, you remember the guy that played the father on Good Times, and he said, kid, stay off the drugs. So he
I
did.
mean, I understand, Mr. 411, that you have a lot of time on your hands, but how long did it take you to dig up that little gem?
Hey
Oh my
man,
goodness, that's scary.
yeah,
Actually,
coming to America, the original one.
I've heard of it. Yes,
Yeah, one of the greatest movies of all time.
of course.
All right, well, we'll be talking about a lot of great players and some that were not so great today. Today is October the 11th. The year is 2022, and we welcome you all to the 411 Sports World Fantasy Football Show.
Right. Hmm.
So hold on, buckle up, because here we go.
Hmm.
We're back.
Hmm.
All right, Lacey Dawson, we're gonna chop it up. Week
Okay.
5 is in the books. Week 6 is
Hmm.
coming up faster than you know. And the
Yeah.
season, when we play fantasy football, we get so pumped up about it. We do all the off season work and everything. Then the season starts, and then
Hmm.
before you know it, you're halfway done, and before you know it, you're done. And so far, we are halfway. We're just about halfway there now. 6 games. Game 6 coming up next week.
uh, we're about a third of the way, so let's not get beyond ourselves. Let's just slow down. It's 411. We got
I
to make,
can't.
make this last as long as we can.
All right. Well, that's what Keith Sweat said too. Make it last forever. He did say that.
I'm
All
getting a
right.
headache.
So okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it. Our first segment, the news and notes in the league.
Hmm.
It's brought to you by Heavenly Spa Mobile, 2484 Ingleside Avenue, Building A, Suite 101-A, Macon, Georgia, 31204. Latanya, she can be reached at 478-747-9231. That is 478-747-9231. Heavenly Spa Mobile, where relaxation is the key.
Hmm.
And the key to a lot of our seasons, Lacey,
Right.
it really, you really have to be on top of your injury report because that is key to your season because you have to make a lot of adjustments. And so with that said, uh, there's some injuries along the league, and I hope you can hear me. Am
I
I
can hear
clear?
you. Yeah,
Okay, good.
I can hear
All
you.
right. So we'll start off with a lot of injuries, and of course, the running back position is a physical position. You don't really last that long at that position. The average lifespan at a running back is like 2 years, somewhere in there. But Damian Harris injured. James Conner, he's down. Rashard Penny out for the year. So when we get to our waiver wire segment, there's definitely going to be some running backs that you have to take a look at. Tyreek Hill, wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. Man, he has an injury now. And at the end of the game, he was in a boot. Now, they're trying to say that it wasn't anything major, but anytime you're wearing a boot after a football game, it's something to behold. So keep an eye on Tyreek Hill as far as injuries are concerned. So that's where we are right now with injuries.
Hmm.
Of course, there's some other ones floating around. But again, a lot of these injuries will definitely come into play when it's time for you to make your waiver wire claims and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we are with injuries.
So are you sure that Tyreek Hill just didn't have his feelings hurt? I mean, I'm not.
Well,
I
I
mean,
know
the Jets
he
are
was upset.
Miami. Go Jets, go Giants.
Yeah, I tell
Go
you,
Buffalo.
yeah. I mean, look, all your teams are doing well right now.
Yeah,
You
go
know,
Yankees.
yeah,
Sorry about
and
that.
go Mets.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, they did. They did exactly what I just said. So, but they'll be back. All right. So, with the injuries and everything, man, that's pretty much where we are right now with injuries. And but we're going to talk about a couple of good performances. So let's get into some of the studs for the week for week
Okay.
5. And here's one right here. Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh, Detroit and New England, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I didn't get to see any of the games, so
Yeah. But
I
yeah, but Stevenson's been he's been a monster, and he's really taken hold of the running back position in New England. And over the years, Belichick, it's like this is the one team that you didn't really want to hitch your wagon to a running back on, but it looks like Stevens is changing the game here as far as that goes in New England. So monster, he's having monster games, and it doesn't hurt to play against Detroit either.
well, yeah,
Detroit's defense,
that makes
they're
you
ranked.
star.
Yeah, because they're ranked like 32nd in the league, and that's putting it nicely. There's 32 teams in the league, so you go figure.
Wow,
Yeah. All right. I don't know if you have this guy on any of your teams,
I
but
do.
man, Patrick Mahomes 4 touchdown passes in Monday night is doing great work.
I
All
would have
right.
been okay if he hadn't thrown them all to Kelsey.
Well, there you go. And
I'm
Kelsey,
always gonna be playing that guy.
I tell you, it's rough. But if you have both of those players, you were really cooking this weekend. You probably
Yeah.
shouldn't have lost a game.
That's some high points there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's get into some more studs for the week for the week 8. Well, those are duds. We'll get to the studs.
Okay, you're making me dizzy.
Yeah, I was trying to hurry up and get to the studs.
That's first. What difference does it make?
Well, it doesn't. Really doesn't make a major difference. But we'll go ahead. Matter of fact, we'll just go ahead and do it. Let's get to some of these duds out the way. AJ Brown, 3 receptions, 30 yards. I mean, come on.
Yes.
Come on. I mean, that's good for you, but man, I mean, and look at Waddle.
Devontae Smith, so I mean, he's not, tearing up the world, but he's doing,
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yep. TJ Hawkinson. Yeah.
Detroit. That's all. They scored 0 points.
Yeah.
Jamal Williams, I got him on one of my important teams, and he gave me not good.
Yeah, I see.
Against the
You
Jets.
can go.
I mean, the Steelers look awful. I saw the replays. Oh my God.
Yeah. What do you think is going on over there in Pittsburgh?
They have fallen apart. And part of it is Big Ben. I don't know if they knew he was going to retire. It seemed very abrupt to me. I hadn't heard anything about, okay, this is going to be his last year. And then suddenly his season's over and he's gone. He's done. And I don't know if they were prepared for that, considering what they're starting at quarterback. It doesn't seem like they were, but they're not playing any defense either. So
yeah,
Mike Tomlin's got some soul searching to do. He probably has some people he needs to fire. Because whatever they're doing, it's like it's one thing to not have your offense going or not have your defense going, but to have neither one of them going, you're wasting everybody's time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. I mean, Pittsburgh, they're really disappointing this year, and there's no other way to put that.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens because there may be a player or two that can help you in the fantasy world, but in reality, right now, the Steelers, man, they're really struggling.
They're struggling, and that was who did that to them?
When this past week?
Yeah, who did they play?
Oh, they got blasted. I believe it was by Buffalo.
Oh,
yeah. Buffalo.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they destroyed them.
It's, I mean,
38-3.
Huh?
38-3.
38-3. That's not quite as bad as Well, in a way, it is 29-0. I think was what Detroit had zero. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, yeah,
That's bad. So,
yeah.
but anyway, I mean, I don't know what the answer is for Pittsburgh, but they need to do something because I understand that they put the rookie in.
Yeah, they
The
put Pickett in. They move forward with Pickett as the quarterback. And I tell you what, he does have some effect, and I think we'll get to that when we talk about the waiver wire. But I mean, it may not result in the real wins and losses. I mean, wins for the team, but it may be a win for some fantasy owners out there, especially if they need some help at receiver and they have a Pittsburgh receiver. I think Pickett, he throws the ball more often and he gets it down the field a lot better than the previous quarterback. But it's still a it's still a huge learning curve for him. So, you
yeah.
know, that's that reality versus the fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But speaking of Pittsburgh getting blown out by Buffalo, how about this? I had Gabe Davis on my bench,
Oh wow. Oh
and look at
my.
what he did. It's only 3 catches, but look, 2 touchdowns. And look at all the yards. One was like the longest play from scrimmage in team history. Passing play with Gabe Davis. I think it was like a 93-yard touchdown reception,
Mm-hmm.
and I had jumped out my out of my chair. I was like, "Whoa!" And then I looked at my roster and I said, "Oh, I didn't even start him." So
Wow.
you know, but hey,
Look
that's
at
how it
Leonard
goes sometimes.
Fournette. I mean, he hasn't been doing anything. Well, I won't say he hasn't been doing anything, but I mean, that's that's impressive.
Well, yeah, especially if you look at the receptions, that's the key right now.
Well,
Leonard
that's what
Fournette.
I mean. That's why it's so impressive. It's like 10 receptions. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, when you can get 10
But
receptions from your running back, that's a definite plus, and especially in the PPR league.
but the most amazing thing here that I'm looking at anyway is Taysom Hill.
Yes,
Um, I just we had to take a poll in one of my leagues of the person that has Taysom Hill because for whatever reason in CBS Sports he's listed as a tight end.
yes,
I don't know if he's in like that in all of the leagues. I thought he was listed as a quarterback, but the guy who has him is he was asking, is it going to be fair for me to put him in my tight end slot because everybody thought he was a quarterback. And I'm like, to me, it's like whatever your league says he is, that's what he is.
yeah.
If it says he's a tight end, you can put him in your tight end spot. I
Yeah.
don't want to play you, but
You ain't got, hey, look, you ain't got to ask me is it fair or not. I'm sticking
I
them
know,
in there.
I know there would have been no question. But he's trying to be fair, and I'm like, nah, because you couldn't play him as a quarterback if you wanted to.
Well,
Whatever your league, whatever your league says, that's what you have to go by. So
exactly, and that's what's cool. You have to go by your league settings. That's why it's so important. Remember our first episode, we talked about league settings, and so
right,
you have to look at your league settings and see how the layout is because that can affect your draft and so on and so forth. So I know in the Yahoo in our listener league, Taysom Hill is a quarterback slash tight end,
oh,
and
is he?
so yes, so
I
he
I
definitely
know
can
that.
have some value there. You just got to keep an eye on him. You benefit this week, and then next week it could be,
Yeah,
you know,
like
nothing.
DJ Hawkinson, he goes from
Yeah, so you just got to
good
keep
to
that in mind.
1 week.
Yeah, but he's such a gadget. He can do everything for the team. Play quarterback, receiver. He can block. He play on special teams, kick return, like whatever you need him to do. He's
Yeah.
there, and there's always value. That's good for him though, because
Mhm.
that's going to keep him in the league because he can help out in so many different positions.
I don't see why they don't just make him a running back. I honestly,
Hey, I mean, he could do it.
but
He
they
definitely can do it.
have found the best way to use him is to use him everywhere. So I'm
Right.
not mad at them. But yeah,
Absolutely.
he's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So those are our duds and studs.
Okay.
And so we took care of that.
Okay.
And of course, when you have duds, you always and you have injuries, you have to get out there on the wire, the waiver wire, and in most leagues you have to stake your claim and
Hmm.
go ahead and get your priorities in there,
Right.
and so that when you wake up the next day, you can see who's on your team. So let's go over that, Lacey.
Okay. Sure.
All right, here we go.
Hmm.
So let's take a look. And by the way, if you take a look at the bottom of the screen, you
Oh.
see Ebutts Junior Boxing Academy. Check them out at 3555 Mercer University Drive, Suite 104-1, Macon, Georgia 31204. And Mr. Butts, he doesn't only have one number. He has two phone numbers that he can be reached. So there's no reason why you can't reach out to Mr. Butts if you're in the Middle Georgia area. And like I say, he trains boxing. He starts with kids from age 5 all the way up to adults. And you could do it for sport. You can also do it just for training, so check him out. Ernest Butts Jr. He loves what he does there. And so, I can tell you firsthand, it'll get you, it'll really work you out.
All right.
All right. So check out some of these waiver wires. Jacoby
Look at Geno
Myers.
As a New York Jets fan, I'm happy for that young man. Geno Smith.
But yes, Geno, at some point in time, and I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan, right? But at some point in time, we really have to sit back and say, hey, is Geno really? I mean, he could be a starter for some teams now. And I know that
he's a starter for Seattle right now. So, I mean.
Right. For Seattle, yes. And, for some fantasy owners, I mean, you may have to go ahead and consider him as a starter now, especially when you have, by the way, going back to some injuries, you have, somebody like Baker Mayfield's out now. You have Tua that's down. And you also have Teddy Bridgewater, the backup to Tua, who's now down. So, there's a lot of there's a lot of opportunity there at quarterback. And so Geno Smith, if you need a quarterback, you need to go ahead and scoop him up. He's proven to be consistent. Seattle is actually passing the ball. And so, me and Zach talked about this before, but Seattle has two excellent receivers. So it's not like they don't have anything out there. And Geno is doing a good job. So take a look at Geno Smith. Don't hesitate anymore. And his teammate, Ken Walker III, due to injury, due to Penny being out for the year, another injury. He's going to be out for the year with an ACL injury. And so there you go. Ken Walker III, get him in there. Seattle's already using him a lot in the run game. So pick him up.
Okay. What's up with Rondale Moore, Arizona?
Well, Rondale Moore, that's another one you need to take a look at. Arizona likes to pass the ball. And right now he's one of those targets right now. So, with you always have to look at that. Like Arizona, if they don't do anything else, they're going to pass the ball. They're going to put points up. The passing game is the passing game is where it's at in Arizona. So I would definitely take a close look at Rondale Moore. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zay Jones is another one too. I would definitely kind of look at him as a little bit of a sleeper. Sometimes Jacksonville doesn't put up impressive numbers, but it looks like the quarterback is looking at Zay a lot. So definitely, if you need help at receiver and you can't get your hands on a Rondale Moore, I would definitely look at Zay Jones. Isaiah McKenzie in Buffalo, it's kind of a wild card to me because, you still have like Gabe Davis, and then of course you have Diggs. So, McKenzie, is he going to get enough opportunity? I think it would take an injury for that. So I would kind of hold off on that. And Michael Gallup, don't forget, Dak is coming back. So keep an eye on Gallup. If he's available in your league, you have to pick him up.
Not available anywhere.
Well, injuries, and sometimes people give up too soon. I would just say, don't leave any stones unturned. Don't think that there's not a player out there because he might be out in your league somewhere. And also depend on how many teams in your league too. Mm-hmm. Brian Robinson Jr. from the Washington Commanders. Looks like he's the man for the job now. Injuries at the running back position. And look, it's a great story. He was just, he was shot up. You know what I mean? He was on a robbery situation before the season.
That guy. Okay.
Yes. And they had a big introduction for him in the last game. And the Commanders are actually giving him most of the carries. So Brian Robinson Jr. and he looks sharp. And that's what happens too a lot of times, Lacey, with running backs, especially young backs, and they haven't played a lot yet in the NFL. They got a lot of energy, great bursts, things like that. So, it's a good time to take advantage of those situations.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's the waiver wire. Man, we are rolling along here, Lacey.
Yeah.
We're doing great work.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break, and we're
Okay.
gonna come back, and we're gonna talk about the Copier Bowl 2022.
You, man.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. If you're in the New York area, especially in the Brooklyn area, check out GG Events NYC. Janice does great work, as you can see. And, she'll
Okay.
set the party off.
Okay.
Listener League, Lacey. We got to
Yeah.
talk about our league now, the Listener League.
I
We
don't
had,
really want to talk about it, but if you must.
yeah, well, we're going to throw a couple of the scores up,
Okay.
and then we're going to dig into our the main event, if you will. And so here's some of the scores from our league.
Gee, I wonder
Oh,
why yours is
is it up
first.
there? Okay, let's see what's up there.
Uh,
All right. The Camel Clutch with a victory over the defending champion, telling
mhm.
Mr. Ridley. Town Ballers and Calculator. Calculator extracted some revenge there on Town Ballers, but I think Town Ballers is still in first place. So that's the benefit of getting off to a great start. Let's get to some more scores. Captain Cosmo. Did he pull that one off, Lacey? Looks
Uh,
like he,
I
or
don't
did he
think so.
fall short? Looked like Chucktown pulled that one off. And Chucktown's been on a little bit of a roll, so we gotta keep an eye on Chucktown. Um, and then Lacey Dawson. You got red by your number there, Lacey.
I don't want
Did
to talk
you
about
get,
it.
did you get beat by your own flesh and blood?
I did.
I
I
mean,
did.
what's going on? I mean, your own son gonna take
I'm
you
gonna,
out like that?
I'm gonna make him sit in the corner with a dunce cap on his head.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, and then
That's not. It's not very nice to beat your mama like that, but you know.
it's not cool. It's not cool at all. That's gonna come back to get him.
And then, and the highest scorer team of the week, Robert.
Yeah, well, look at Robert putting up
Wow.
some big numbers this week.
All of
One,
these numbers, the people with the really big numbers just beat up on the poor little people with the smaller numbers. I mean, it's not even, none of them are even close.
yeah, it's wild, isn't it? It's wild. Okay, well, guess what? Look who's in the bottom left hand corner.
Oh.
Larry Stone Cold. And so Larry, I know Larry.
Really?
Yeah. What's up, Larry? You, I know
Really? Stop.
he reared his head just at the right time because now we got to talk about the Copier Bowl. All right. So a lot of trash talk over the years, ladies and gentlemen, between
Oh,
these
yeah.
two gentlemen here.
Been going on for about 20 years.
Yes. So this is not just some random game here. There's a lot of trash talking that goes on. And sometimes it goes on all day and into the night. But Carter's Peanuts, they fell short to Larry. Larry, as you can see, he says, "Here I am." And Larry, you did a great job there. Hope Carter's Peanuts meet you at the 50-yard line, shake your hand. Congratulations. You are the Copier Bowl 2022 champion. We'll get to the stats here. First, we'll get both of you guys, kickers in there. Not much from there. But look, Larry with Dallas defense, 23 points. And we got to talk about that for just a second, Lacey. Dallas on the defense, Dallas defense has really showed up this season. And
Okay.
that is why they're doing so well without Dak Prescott. The defense has not allowed 2 touchdowns in any games yet. And
Wow.
they haven't allowed 20 points yet.
Mhm.
So as long as they're playing that type of defense and the offense doesn't, have a lot of turnovers and things like that, Dallas in reality, in real football, they're going to
Right.
be just fine. But
Okay.
man, but what a fantasy pickup there to have Dallas as your defense to get 23 points. And there's some more to stats there, Lacey. You take a look at them as I
Okay.
step back.
Let's see, Kyler Murray. Oh, okay. Well, Josh had Teddy Bridgewater. Okay, that explains it.
Yep, injury.
Okay, why did he start him? That's. Oh, did he have Tua? No.
Yep, he probably. I don't know. I think he may have had two, and he probably went with Teddy because Teddy was looking pretty good the previous week.
Yeah, it's like they're always looking good until you start them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's
What
see.
else you see on the board there?
Oh, that's the only quarterback he has. Oh no, he had Stafford, which
Yeah,
he didn't really matter.
yeah. He made a good choice not putting Stafford in.
Yeah, but Bridgewater of course had zero. So
Yeah. How about Pierce? Look how impressive Pierce is in a losing effort. With,
yeah, he's been Houston's kind of sneaking up on people too. I like that.
yes, absolutely. They're a tough team. But look, Kyler Murray over there on the other side.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, Stevenson. We talked about him earlier. Another nice uh, person to have in your lineup. And
Look at Aaron
look at
Jones.
Lockett.
He's making me ill.
Yeah, there's a bit of a struggle going on there in Green Bay right now across the board for them. But look at Stevens. Look at Stevenson. A nice pickup there by Larry. Nice coaching decision there. And look at Lockett. So they pretty much carry the team. Plus Dallas having 23 from your defense. You don't expect that.
Right.
So congratulations to Larry. Big time
Congratulations,
victory.
early. Condolences,
And
Josh.
we'll get Josh out here. Josh needs to come out here and explain himself. So we'll get him on here.
He issued a very respectful not apology, but concession speech. So I thought that was very very stand up of him. So
Very good. Plus he ain't have no choice.
well, he had a choice now. Josh knows how to talk a bunch of trash, win or lose. But
Yeah,
he was very graceful, and I was very proud of him.
absolutely. All right. Well, Lacey, that pretty much wraps it up for today.
Does it?
We knocked everything out that we need to knock out. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
You could join me in the studio for the Sports Brothers show. We'll be talking about NFL Week 5. Maybe get
Okay.
some tidbits at the Week 6. We talk about the struggles of Russell Wilson.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Did you mention that the calculator's not here today?
Well, I did not, but
Okay, because he's on vacation, which is why we have all of this extra airtime that he usually fills up with his enthusiasm. He's
you know,
on a
you-
well-deserved vacation, and we miss him, and
yeah,
we'll be happy to welcome him back next week. But he is the reason why we're not doing the our weekly
with a mini draft, yeah. Mhm.
and so we're going to be getting out of the studio a little bit early tonight, and I for one am grateful I had maybe one too many Bahama Mamas on my little cruise, so I need to do some rehydrating. So,
You need to.
yeah, that'll work out.
Yeah, and you got about 30 more minutes because you'll be in studio, the other studio number 2.
Start drinking wine.
Yeah. And we're gonna talk about Draymond Green too. Touch on him a little bit as well.
Okay.
And we may have a couple more guests in the building. So should be interesting.
I don't have a problem with it.
You just never know with us sometimes.
You gonna talk about Draymond? This is the Sports Brothers.
Yes, the Sports Brothers.
Okay.
All right. But look,
Okay.
Lacey.
If
You
that's
said
what
you-
we got for this week, then okay.
Yeah. All right, but look.
You talked about waiver wires a little bit when you're showing your studs and duds and injuries. So
Yeah,
I
we
guess
covered it all.
everything.
Yeah, we covered it all. We just didn't do our draft. But it's our bye week. You know what I mean? So we need a little bye week.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, we need to recover. And and then we gotta get to the home stretch for that steak dinner.
Yes. Okay.
All right. All right, one last sponsor before we get out. I think you'll like this one. Since you've been drinking your Bahama Mamas. Margarita Man, check out Brandy and Curtis Lane at 478-273-0787.
Yeah, that definitely looks familiar, but I don't do margaritas. I can't drink tequila.
Well, that's too bad because their stuff is
That's the
great.
only thing I can't drink, but can't drink tequila.
Yeah.
So, I'll make my own version.
Don't worry, there's a lot of people that can.
I know. I found that out. Oh
All
my
right.
goodness, there were so many drunk people. I loved it.
Well, good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for the calculator,
Okay.
for
And
Captain
for Mr.
Cosmo,
Fluffer.
who will be joining us in the near future,
Okay.
and for Lacey Dawson, I'm Mr. 401. We thank
Oh,
everybody for watching. We
yeah.
thank everybody for listening.
Ciao.
We'll see you at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh,
Have a good night.